I come with my imperfections. I come with all of my flaws. I come needing correction. Your grace, amazing grace, good grace covers it all.
Yo, hey, you could keep your honorarium for real. I ain't tryna be funny, but I ain't come for your money. Let them know, man, I came for the souls. I'm bringing heaven every time that I'm coming. I'm speaking life in abundance. I see too many out here living unhealthy. Jesus, help me take the pain and the hurt. I hate to see when they hurt. I could care less, man, by taking the selfie. They all tryna sign my name on the shirt. We ain't gon' do this in church. Open up the window for the orphan and the widow. Try to help them with their problem, if it's bigger, if it's little. Imagine as a kiddo growing up and have no hero. Believe me, God can see though every tear that's on your pillow. You ever cry so much that nothing even comes out? You get so used to pain, you even start to numb out. When it feel normal in the dark, you start to dumb out. Now it feel funny when you come out and the sun's out.
Welcome to Rightly Dividing the Word. So, we're going to do the last one in the submission series. So, up until this point, hopefully you learned what it means to be submissive or what biblical submission is. And that, as stated in the last statement, Jesus laid down his life willingly for us. He did not submit to a greater power. And his greatest power of submission was that he didn't use his power. It was quite the contrary, that he didn't use his God power. And I showed you that he could have if he wanted to. So, but what does that have? That tells us about what he did. But what does that have to tell us about us? And how do we submit? Because, of course, I know many of you might say, well, that's him. How can we lay down our lives? So, in that vein, John 3:30, I think, is the perfect example of how we do biblical submission. And it reads, He must increase. See, the God in us, that spirit that lives in us, must increase. But in order for that to happen, but I must decrease. We must decrease. So I'm going to show you how Jesus did that first. So I'm telling John the Baptist said this, but Jesus followed this. So I'm going to show you how he did it first and then explain it. So on this representation, the green arrow represents God. And as you see, it's an arrow that's steady increasing. And the red arrow represents us. So we're going to use Luke 22:42 to illustrate what I mean. Okay? So biblical submission, even Jesus did this. He must increase, I must decrease. So, see what Jesus said. So Jesus said, Father, if thou be willing. So he knew what the Father will was. We know what God will is. So he knew that. So it's on that green line and it's always going up. But let's go on. So then the next thing he said, now this is Jesus and his initially not willing to decrease because he said, remove this cup from me. So that's his will. And when you want your will to override God's will, you're not decreasing and actually you're trying to increase. So that's why I got it on the line of the, still on the red line, but on the increasing part. Because when we want our will to override God's will, we're not yielding and we're trying to increase. Okay? See what Jesus said next. Nevertheless, not my will. That's the decrease. When he came to the realization that not my will, not my will. So that's why I put it on the down arrow of that's the decrease. When you realize that it's not your will, it's God's will. The decrease, the decrease. But thine be done. So at the end of the day, he submitted, not my will, which is remove this cup from me. And then he came to his senses. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. Submission, people. Jesus did it too. He had to decrease in order that the will of God and the plan of God that he died on that cross for us was to come to fruition. So, what's the best way for us to decrease? Matthew 6. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added on to you. But you got to seek him, people. You got to seek him. And you got to seek him first. Then he stated in 34, take therefore no thought for tomorrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So what this really means, people, is we got to let go. We have to let it all go. We have to let go control. Anytime that we want to control the outcome, control what happens, want to control everything, God cannot increase in that. So we have to let it go. The best way to do that is to just let it go. Just to let it go. Just to let it go.
I'm so disgusted how corrupted, man, this world could be. I grew up thinking, Lord, I know that you got more for me. All these minorities around me act disorderly. There's no conformity, no respect for authority. They mix the music with the drugs and call it sorcery. These demons hate me, man, they wish that they could torture me. And Lord, you order me to handle things accordingly. Bless me such enormously and finish what's in store for me.
I wish that I could see me the way that you see me. I wish that I could say that I never fall. I wish that I could say that this life is a breeze, but that's not the way grace works at all.